Shalom, everybody. Peace and blessings. This will be 5 signs that God is preparing you to be a chosen one. And what exactly do I mean by being a chosen one? I mean that these chosen ones are going to be the ones who take that straight and narrow path that's going to lead to the way of life, right? For as it is written, many are called, but few are chosen. These chosen ones are going to have that proverbial light that's given unto them by the Most High. And just as a city that's set upon a hill cannot be hidden, nor shall these chosen ones hide that proverbial light that the Most High gave unto them, right? They're supposed to minister that light unto the world. Shine that light, right? Now, number 1 is that basically you're going to have an unbreakable spirit. No matter how much hate that chosen one goes through, no matter how much tribulations they go through, will they prevail through adversity? Because just as it is written within Galatians 6 and 9, let us not be weary in well-doing, for in due season we shall reap, right? If we faint not. Because this journey that we're taking, it's as a proverbial marathon, right? The ones who are called and they're not chosen, they're going to treat this race, they're going to treat it as a race and not a marathon. And when they treat it as a race, they're going to eventually grow weary in their well-doing because basically they're exerting so much force and not pacing themselves. And when they exert so much force, what they're going to do, they're going to faint and fall out of the truth, right? The ones who are chosen, they're going to understand how to basically not fall out of the truth and how to endure until the end, right? Now, number 2 is going to be basically these chosen ones, they're very resilient, so they're not going to follow the multitude to do evil when it comes to judgment. They're not going to let the crowd influence their decision making. For as it is written, blame not before you examine the cause. A lot of individuals base their decision making upon what everybody else does and what everybody else thinks, right? Just like a sheep getting led to the slaughter. And as it is written in Exodus 23 and 2, within God's laws, shall we not follow the multitude to do evil, right? And have them cause us to wrestle against judgment. A lot of people wrestle against judgment just because everybody else is saying something, but in reality, they haven't got all the facts in order, right? The crowd could be raising a false report against somebody and we don't even know it. But those chosen do, because they always get all the facts in order before they make a final decision upon anything, right? Because of that light that was given onto them by the Most High. Now, number 3 is going to be, you're going to find yourself becoming wiser within the truth, within the words of God. Just as the book of Psalms 119, and I'm going to start at verse 97 within 119. And through your commandments have made me wise. Wait, no. I'm going to start at 197. Here we go. Oh, how I love your law. It is my meditation all the day. And through your commandments have made me wiser than my enemies, for they are ever with me. I have more understanding than all my teachers, for your testimonies are my meditation. I have more understanding than the ancients, right? The elders, because I kept your precepts, right? These who are chosen, they're going to be meditating on God's law day and night, right? So basically, they're going to end up growing wise. They're going to go into their elders, ask them for testimonies, just as Deuteronomy 32 and 7 states. And they're going to separate those proverbial meat from the bones, and they're going to end up even surpassing some of their elders, right? That's the goal. Remember the days of old. Consider the years of many generations, right? Ask your father, he will show you. Your elders, and they will tell you, right? And within the precepts of the Most High, do we have even more testimonies to learn from and to attest to, right? That's why those who are chosen, they study the precepts, and do they end up growing in wisdom? They don't stagnate, right? They might grow wise year by year or even day by day, right? Depending on how much the dispensation of the Holy Spirit they have within them, right? Now, number 4 is that you're going to basically be tempted of evil spirits when you're at a low point. Just as Christ was tempted within the wilderness, within Matthew, the 4th chapter, so will we be tempted as well. And then was Jesus led up of the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil. And when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was afterward and hungered, right? And then the tempter came to him. Notice how it's after he was fasting 40 days and 40 nights when he was basically at a very low estate, very weak. The tempter came to him and said, if you be the Son of God, Command that these stones be made bread, right? To try to fill your belly, because he's obviously suffering right now because of how long he's been fasting. But Christ is on a mission. He said, for as it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceed out of the mouth of God, right? What did he answer this devil by? The commandments of the Most High. That's Deuteronomy 8:3 that Christ answered him with. That's within God's law. And just as we stipulated earlier, let's go back to Psalms 119. Let's go back to Psalms 119. Right? So Psalms 119, I'm going to go to verse 98. And through your commandments have made me wiser than my enemies, right? You notice how Christ was calm and collected and was just rebuking him with the commandments of the Most High, right? When you're at your low point, all you have to do is meditate on God's law, right? These individuals who are chosen are always meditating on God's law, which allows them to endure temptation and go through tribulation, right? Now, number 5, you're going to become more spiritually mature. You're going to learn how to forgive, but not forget. Just as Christ told us to turn the other cheek, that's basically saying give an individual a second chance, right? It's also explained within Titus 3:10. A man that is a heretic after the first and second admonition, right? Reject them. Now, admonition is basically just like a correction or rebuke. After you give them their fair warning, right, which is you turning the other cheek, and you turn it again and they strike you again, they're a heretic. They just basically have a demon on them, right? But those who are chosen, they're not going to always have that anger and hostility towards somebody just for every wrong they do. For as it is written, bear not hatred to your neighbor for every wrong, and do nothing at all by injurious practices, which just means malintent. These who are chosen, they keep God's law. And we understand that we're not supposed to bear a grudge against the children of our people, right? That's why if our neighbor or if our enemy's ox or ass were to go astray, we shall surely bring it back to him, etc. If their ox or ass were to fall into a ditch, although they're our enemies, we shall surely help them bear that weight, right? We have to help them bear that burden, and we might gain a brother, right? That's what Christ meant by turning the other cheek, and that's what the chosen ones understand, right? We learn how to forget and forgive because we've grown wise, and we understand why certain individuals might think the way they think. And we understand that certain individuals might have remorse for what they did if they had a good spirit in them all along, right? And we shine that light upon them, showing our resilience, right? Just as we were going over earlier, we have that resilience, the ability to go through tribulations, and that light might shine upon them, and then you might gain a brother, right? Those are 5 signs. If you have any more, comment them down below. And until next time, shalom.